Well, hopefully you can hear me over the sound of water and everything like that. Just another update on the fish room. I've moved lots and lots of stuff around. I'm currently water changing, and yeah, a lot of people have a lot of issues with water changes. All I ever do is knock out about 10-15% of the tank, so this is one system, and then fill up a barrel with water. So I'm using town water for this system because our town water is a high pH, high mineral content, and that's what the Malawi and Tanganyikan cichlids want. So I'm breaking down the chloramines and that with this stuff, which is Fritz Complete Dechlorinator. Exactly the same idea as Prime and stuff like that. I know, whoop-de-doo. They're a dechlorinator that chemically breaks down the chlorine and chloramine. And it's not just chlorine in our tap water anymore. The chloramine is chlorine bonded to ammonia, which takes about 9 months to break down. So you can use carbon filters and stuff like that, but this stuff is pretty cheap and easy to use. And then I'm using buffers. So where is my other buffer? There it is, which ironically is Fritz as well. I am not sponsored by Fritz. I did meet the Fritz dude the other day from America. Loud American Fritz guy, hello. Anyway, this stuff here will automatically raise your pH and your KH, and you can target the different lakes like Tanganyikan, Malawi, Victorian. Very easy to use, just a powder, tells you how much to dump in. You can dump it in there and then you can double check the pH. But that's all I sort of do. I just take a little bit of water out, which that much there is about 10% because both of those tanks are connected. Fill up your barrel, dechlorinate with your whatever, adjust the pH, and then there's a pump in there which I just pump the water back in. Anyway, now that that is all out the way, welcome back to another fish room video. I've got too many bloody fish again. I know, everything is doing really, really well. Little Senegals are looking lovely. Still don't have any available because I've sold out, but as soon as these are mature enough to tell the sex of, I'm gonna have a few males available. Quarantine tank. Now, my discus, if you saw one of the shorts, two of them paired up, I'm pretty sure. Where are they? Those two at the back. So that girl, that turquoise, and the big, weird pigeony blood one at the back. Now, because I am not here all the time, I've got an auto feeder on this tank. And check out this. This is one of these Flash Awazi auto feeders. If I hold that for 2 seconds, it should do its thing. Yeah, now it is fully sealed, so you don't get condensation building up in the food. So the whole thing extends out like that, and then it drops the food in. There's the food. So those are not Tetra bits, which is like a little, and it actually goes all the way back in. Look at that. So it's got a little sealed bit around it. So no humidity to food. So I'm just feeding the discus this stuff, which is Orca brand. It's like Tetra bits, but it doesn't have that horrible dye in the water. And they're absolutely crazy for it. So obviously discus high protein eaters, but they are going really, really well on this food. I know, I need to split them all up. I haven't done anything about the system for the discus, but I'll show you the tanks again in this video. I have moved the turtles though. So yes, I have a lot of turtles, but they're in ponds and stuff outside. But what is not in a pond outside are these pig-nosed turtles. Now you do need a license for these. These are the Australian versions, so these are not your Papua New Guinea ones, the fly rivers, and there is a difference. There he is there, just lurking, chilling. Now I have 2 of them in here. I had to replace the substrate with sand because these turtles don't come out of the water. There's the big fat loach. Don't you upset my turtle. Really? Don't you even think about that. Don't lick his eye. So I'm gonna watch the loach, obviously, because the loach is pretty dopey. Now I did get a couple of friends of the loach, so I've only quarantined them for about a week, but they are in here with the loach as well. And the only issue I've got in this tank is the big pleco, which is this guy here, or girl, whatever. Looks like a guy. It's about 40 centimeters, 30, 40 centimeters, give or take. Yeah, I just have to watch that he does not suck on the shells of the turtles, because these turtles don't come out of the water. They only come out of the water to lay their eggs, but they have like a skin on their shell. So they can be a little bit delicate with sucker fish and stuff like that. Tiger bircher are in here as well. There they are there. So there's 3 of those guys. Well, 1 girl and 2 guys. There is the other turtle way at the back. That is 4 foot front to back. I'm just going to see how they go in there with the smaller fish, because they were a little bit intimidated in the bigger tank. And, well, just heard my barrel. Let me turn my barrel off because we're overflowing. That's what happens when you multitask, when you're trying to do stuff in the morning and yeah, everything like that. So hopefully this big pleco here will not upset. Oh, that's a chunky loach, isn't it? That is crazy. Yeah, I think the loach is just being dopey too. So we'll see how everyone goes. They should be all right. Here's hoping that they'll be fine. Otherwise, I'm going to take that turtle and the other one straight out of this tank. Yeah, hemianthus cat being an absolute pain. But anyway, so I've moved those around. I need to do something with this tank. Again, it is murky because I have stirred up the pre-filter. I just don't have time to make everything pretty and do videos. And yeah, if you've seen my sump, there's the pre-filter there. It's just a giant mess, but I'm about to upgrade this as soon as I can afford the flash new filtration that I really want. So yeah, Oscar's doing their Oscar-y thing, big torpedo-y fish doing their torpedo thing, and yeah, etc, etc. So decent sized fish. These are all probably about 30, 40 centimeters, maybe 50 centimeters for the wolf cichlid. See, you can't see it because he's right at the back. But that is a decent sized wolf cichlid, giant gourami. See, nothing looks big, but they are big. I know, Saratoga, yeah, just, it is what it is. But hopefully, they will play well together. That is 4 foot front to back. Yeah, seems okay so far. Another giant gourami there. So the turtle's probably about 30 centimeters, give or take. All the fishes that are coming up and looking, that poor hemianthus cat nearly got butchered by the others. So she's in here growing her whiskers back. Look how skinny the poor thing is. I know. They had been together for absolutely ages, and then these big buff heads decided they didn't like her, and just absolute carnage. And that is the wonders with fish. Yeah, that is what fish do. They're fine together, then all of a sudden they're not fine together. The fun of moving everything around. But apart from that, the discus and all this stuff, nothing has really changed. The hoplos have gone crazy big. I think you would have seen them in my last fish room video. So this is more just a quick update. Oh, there's a whole lot of pearl gouramis or lace gouramis I will be bringing into the shop. So a few people have asked me about them. Yes, they are coming in. If you can see them behind the catfish, cute little things. They're only tiny. They're probably like 5 centimeters or so, give or take. But they are all coming in soon. I don't think I've got, oh, I do have albino hoplos in the shop still, which is kind of amazing. They are absolutely awesome catfish. There's one there. I know. So albino with brown on them, which is a little bit different than your normal albinos. And I still have some giant hatchets in the shop, which is just crazy. Yeah, you can't really see in these tanks once the light hits like that. I think that is probably where we are with that. Not much else has happened. I have not even checked the little puffer fish. Let me turn the light on a little bit better so we can see them. Females are absolutely filled with eggs. Of course, I haven't cleaned my glass. These are pea puffers, and yeah, I think there are, what, 3 girls and 1 boy. So I'm suspecting they have already spawned in the Java moss, but I haven't really paid any attention or looked or anything like that. A lot of people have also asked me what is happening with the coolie loaches. They're in this tank here. Nothing is happening with the coolie loaches because, yeah, I need to stop working 24 hours a day, I think, and have more time mucking around with fish. But I do have good plans on how to trigger these in the next month or so. So you will see an update on the coolie loaches. We'll see if that works. I want to create some sort of overflow river system and see if they'll swim up pipes into a spawning tank. So we'll see how we go with that. Oh, look, baby pygmy cories. Can you even zoom in? So the baby pygmies are looking like baby pygmies. Again, really, really hard to see. I know, I probably should turn the light on a little bit better. There we go. And I think, no, everyone else is hiding. Rams are not even doing ram stuff at the moment. Yeah, I need to separate them to spawn them again. That girl's ready to lay eggs. But I think that's probably about all that sort of really happens. Yeah, the baby fish are looking like baby fish. I need to get these baby cories out of here. So they're just sitting in there. Oh, there's lots of baby fish everywhere at the moment. Now, I've got another couple of these tanks to go up the top, so yeah, I just need to plumb them in. I've been cutting PVC pipe because I'm going to do an overflow like that and just have like a little joiner with that on the top. So it's sort of going to look like that. I'm just going to have one tank into the next, and then at the bottom just going into a sump. Those are going to be my discus tanks and angel tanks. I'm just not entirely sure where on earth I'm going to put them because, yeah, I don't want them over there in the open because I'm going to keep these at about 28 degrees Celsius for the discus. But all these guys and girls are going to be split up once I work out pairs, and yeah, obviously male there, female there. There's a nice little girl there. She has a lovely looking fish. So yeah, all those are going to be sorted. I'm just not too sure where at the moment. I think ideally I move this massive tank, which, yeah, check out how brown this tank is with the light on it. You can't even see the fish in there. I know, tannic acid nightmare at the moment. There are fish in there, but it's just very brown, and it looks even browner on camera. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to deal with that. All those are coming out of there. I probably need to get some more of the stuff that's in that canister filter that cleared up the tannic acid in here. But yeah, that can wait for a little bit. And this tank is an absolute mess as well because these fish have completely stirred up everything. Yeah, that is a Queensland lungfish. You need a microchip in the lungfish to keep these. They're bred in captivity. Expensive fish, but they are one of the dumbest fish in the world. I know, and there is a couple in this murky tank behind those giant gouramis. And look, I haven't cleaned my glass again. Everything has been stirred up because I caught the turtles out of here, and yeah, absolute mess. There is the other lungfish. You going to come over? He's not going to come over. So these are about 70 centimeters, 80 centimeters to give you an idea. So that lump under there is a lungfish. There's a peacock bass. There is another giant gourami going, why are you filming me? Oh, look, he's considering coming over. Oh, come on. They've got to be the worst fish to film. I know. Well, it's probably just me filming because they're under that giant piece of driftwood. That's about a 5-foot piece of driftwood to give you an idea. I know nothing looks big on camera, does it? But it is. Come on. Are you going to move over? You're not even going to move over. Oh. As I go to move away, he's kind of moving over. But anyway, they are in there, this absolutely murky tank, which I've just stirred up completely. Once I sort that out, and that's 9 foot long by 4 foot, yeah, I'm going to redo everything. Yes, not much in here as well. We've just got our stingrays, another big pleco. Actually, I have to grab your tail. I'm going to just grab you. How did he let me grab him? Okay, there is another big pleco. Don't try that at home, but you can see how big that pleco is and how big the rays are compared to the pleco. Well, where are the bigger rays? There's the bigger ones over there. Still got a little bit of damage on her from the male, which I've separated. Yeah, I'm just not breeding rays for a while because I need to get them out of this pool. And I think now my plan is to make a big wooden frame. That's 10 foot there. I think I can get about 20 foot of area here and only have it about 1 meter high and have all the rays in that. So they've got a lot more space. All these tubs are just grow out with cichlids and stuff like that. So I can easily just move them. Yeah, nothing terribly exciting. Oscar's peacock bass, big male stingray, which needs a home. Well, needs to move out of there. But yeah, I think that's probably my plan now for this side is to move all these potentially into there temporarily. If they'll fit, they should fit. They're not going to be impressed with that because that's 10 by 5 and that's only 9 by 4. Move them, move all this, and then create a big area here. And I'm just going to use double insulated pond liner and probably just a wood frame so that it's not temporary. It is temporary. No, it's not permanent. There you go. No, because it's not permanent. It is temporary. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just don't want a big concrete thing here and then have to move it for some reason and can't move it. Otherwise, I'd make it out of Besser bricks and concrete and all that sort of wonderful stuff. But I think we're just going to do a frame out of sleepers and a big thing of pond liner. yeah, and just insulate it so I can have lids on top for winter and then give them a lot more room because, yeah, easily get 10 foot of area. So if I go 10 by 5, that's going to give me, no, a lot bigger. It's going to be 20 foot by 5 foot. That's going to be heaps better. And then I can put the peacock bass in with them and everything like that. That's the plan now. The plan will probably change in another week or so because that's what happens. But yeah, I just need to sort all that stuff out because everything is a giant mess on this side. I'll move a few of those cichlids and stuff like that. So I'll probably move the bass around the other side. I'm not too sure if I'm going to move the lungfish in the tank with the turtle or not. With the turtles, we'll figure it out. But yeah, otherwise I just need to sort out what is in all these. Another ray or two in there as well. And just, yeah, deal with everything. Back to the other side. The Tropheus have grown a ridiculous amount in the last couple of weeks, so I actually forgot how fast Tropheus grow. Check out the cherry spots now. They have almost halfway through their color change, and yeah, you can see the bits that are going to be a nice orangey red to them. That's that boring brown thing with the lighter brown on it. But yeah, a lot different than they were a week or two ago. Same with the Du Boisies. So the Du Boisies are the spotty ones. And yeah, they are going absolutely crazy. And that one, oh, that one's just starting to change color. So it's definitely going to be a male, that big buffy one. Again, I haven't cleaned my glass. These are just Tanganyikan fish, which is a high pH Rift Lake cichlid, Cylindricus, the long stripy ones. I have not seen any fry from them since I've had them. And they've paired up, like there's a girl there. There is a boy pairing through there. I must be missing the fry, I'm sure. Little shell dwellers haven't bred for probably, I don't know, probably about a month or two now. So I think, yeah, maybe I'm running them a little bit too low in temperature. I think the system's about 23 degrees. And yeah, if we turn that light on, I am still water changing. That's why everything is all around the place. All those guys completely hiding over there because my new water's going in there. And as I said in all the other videos, this tank is connected to that one, so the water's just pumping back up. So adjusting the water first before I top it up. A lot of people just stick the hose in and then do it, but all the toxic chemicals will screw your fish up, screw your bacteria up. Not a good thing to do. So if you got time, balance your water before it goes in your tanks, and you're not going to have any dramas or anything like that. They're really getting a decent size. That is definitely a male, that one. So he's going to go a blue face with a yellow vertical stripe in the middle on a black body. So yeah, cool fish. And again, I haven't got any more yet. I am going to probably put some temporary little tanks up the top and hook them into this to grow out another couple of batches of them. Yeah, famous last words. I'm not sure what on earth I'm doing, but I'm doing something. Otherwise, just a quick update. Everything is a mess, but we are moving stuff around. There'll be a better update in the next week or so when I get more time. Anyway, there you go. Fish room, nightmare, things breeding, nightmare. See you in the next video. Oh, and if you want to become a member, click the membery thing. Members get a discount in my store, Paul's Aquariums in Brisbane, and you get extra videos and fun stuff like that. Anyway, see you then.